Hey, what's going on, everyone? And thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion. You got your boy Behavior right here with Just My Opinion Reviews. My girl right here, Tara, with Struggle Reviews TV. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Thank you for joining me today for this episode 4 recap and review for The Time Traveler's Wife on HBO Max. This show has kind of been up and down for me. There's things that I really do like about it. There's things I'm like, oh, this is kind of cringy. What's going on? Pedo vibes. And we're here to talk about it. We're going to spoil it up, down, left, right, in, and out. You already know the drill. You have been warned. Getting right into it. Tara, tell us, how much did you love this episode? I'm teasing. And this is not a movie news roundup, so I'm sorry about that. But tell us how you felt about this episode, ma'am. I am dying to hear it. I'm dying.
Man, it was just never ending. There was so much happening. I was like, damn. Right off the back, I didn't think we could get any more pedo than we got last episode. And I was clearly wrong. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
it's very off-putting, but an interesting show. Like, I'm very torn with, because I'm enjoying the show so far, and I'm very, interested to see what's happening next, because it's so much going on. It's very intriguing, but all the extraness, it's you just have to acknowledge it. Like, you can't not watch this and get at least every other great moment. There's a cringy moment.
Right. Well said. Well said. I have to say, I do agree with you. I am entertained. This episode was entertaining. Episode 4. It was silly too.
Yeah,
I'm like, what's going on? They just throwing a whole bunch of stuff at the wall, just trying to
see
sit,
what
see if it
fits.
stick. Like drama here, drama there, pedo vibe here. Like, stop it. But I was entertained.
Yeah,
I was fascinated and drawn in from this show initially because of the time travel aspect, and it just seems like they are throwing away. There seems like there's just no rules as far as time travel. Trying to keep if there is a time stream and not break the timeline and mess up
yeah,
the world.
no,
And I mean, it doesn't have to be that serious and complicated like the next Marvel, DC comic book, science fiction, interstellar movie. This is a romantic. I was gonna say a comedy, but not really a comedy. This is a drama,
yeah.
with little sprinkles of comedy here and there. But I did enjoy it, but I did not enjoy the pedo vibes. Claire is 18 years old now, and she is hot and ready, and that's just a little bit too much. And Henry, the other guy, the main guy, he was 31 in the prior episodes when he was meeting up with the little girl, but now he's 41. Am I missing that, or am
No,
I
we
correct?
had I think the majority of times the person that came back was 41. He had been back the most. That's why she identified and she wants him the most, more than the current Henry. The
Right.
41-year-old was there most definitely a lot.
You sure it won? You sure it won 31 and 41?
I'm no, that 41-year-old was there
Okay.
faithfully.
That makes it even worse. But man, she took off a dress. She had the black 90s on. I'm just like, God dog it. I'm just not okay with that. I'm not Tyra. I'm 30. I'm okay. I'm 37 now. We in June. I'll be 38 in July next month. So about 5-6 weeks. But at this age, I could not look at a woman if she was under 25. I think that's my limit right there. I don't Y'all let me know, oh, that's still too young, B. That's just where I'm drawing it. But 18 years old, I can't do it. I can't. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. What you think about that?
I was so like, really, even though the episode before was so cringy, I liked how at least I was like, he's doing this, he's placing himself in her life, but he's very stern about, having limitations, which is great. But
Right.
I just didn't understand why it was so valid for those to just disappear at 18. That means your limitations weren't as valid as they were at 14, 15, 16, 17. To me, it's just like, when if she had, initiated and pressed a little bit more, her being developed makes her, no less than she was at, 15, 16 years old. She's still, maturing. 18 is, the legal age, but you're not that
Right.
much of an adult. I still
Right.
see,
Right.
we I'm sure we thought we were when we were 18, but
Exactly.
looking
We
back,
were
we
all
were
stupid.
kids. And just to see him, he knows what it is. You've been here. You're 41. So to see him cave in like that and just, I just was
Yeah.
like, I was so disgusted.
Right.
I was so
Yeah.
disgusted because I just felt like he would, build up that wall and it would be like, no, you being 18 doesn't mean anything, because he's so hell bent on her living her life and moving forward. Don't wait for me, but he's setting her up to continuously like idolize him and wait for him. So
Right.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a con game he's pulling. It's a setup. It's creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It's just kind of rubbing me the wrong way. I don't like it. I mean, I remember when I was I think I was in junior high. I went to one of those schools to where it was like, K3 all the way up to your senior year in high school.
Wow.
So I was there for a while. It was a private Christian school, and so that's what they were pushing. And I remember when I was like in 8th grade or 9th grade, there was an administrator that I guess was attracted to a student, and he waited until she graduated for them to start courting. And yeah, that was a talk of the town. It made everybody uncomfortable, especially with it being a Christian school. I don't want to dive too deep into that, but I was thinking about that exactly. If I was the father, well, like I can't even remember what her parents are there in her life. Yeah, we got a brief glimpse of
Barely.
that. Yeah, but she's all 500 years off from the 500 yards, all in the backyard in the wilderness with big rocks and playing checkers. And I don't get it. I just don't understand why he has to entertain it. Just go the other way, bro. Just hang out in the bushes. Go run the other way. You're only gonna be there for a few minutes or a couple of hours until you disappear, and then you can move on to the next. So I just don't I don't understand that right there. So I don't know. The guys, this is not live, of course, this is a recording. So you guys let us know in the chat or the comment section what you think about all this is going on as well. But usually, Tyra, when we do these recasts, these reviews, we usually don't spoil each other. We go in kind of blind. I don't know how you feel. You don't you don't know how I feel. I don't know how you feel. But we kind of got a taste of what we thought about this a particular character, because it was wild. Our girl Claire out there, man, she wilding, man. She's wilding. She's sleeping with everybody. What did you text me the other night when I told you I finished watching the episode? What did you say? Tell the people out there.
Saying Claire is a thot. What is that? Oh, I totally see what they were trying to do. Like, she's at first we're dealing with the trauma because we do have her revert back to her assault, and she still has him believing, I wanted you to be my first. I kind of felt like they were supposed to give us incentive to accept it more, because it's like, oh, I'm not going to see her for 2 years. The least I could do is, leave her with, say yes to this. I just their last connective moment in their place of whatever. But just to see her first, I am I don't know. I was like, I guess being a teen is just different for everybody, because she's not far removed from she's just 19. This is just literally a year later, and she is caving
to everybody.
With every and anybody. And it wasn't even about the caving, the sexual part. It was about the bonds and the trust. I kept getting conflicted as to were these friends actually in a relationship already? Were they just friends embarking? Because she kept saying, I can't do this to my roommate. She loves you. She's like, okay, well, yeah, I don't love her the way I love you. Gomez was so eager and just so pushy. Like, I was like, this is some fucked up friends. These are some horrible friends. Like, I didn't understand why they were all so eager and just clamoring. I was like, what the fuck is so special about Claire? Like,
I don't get it. I guess she had that red hair power or something like that. It really didn't make sense to me.
Claire is withdrawn. Claire is everything but like, oh, you know what? I could fuck with that. I don't see that anywhere. anywhere when I look at Claire. Claire seems very troubled. She's very distant. She's longing and pining for a 41-year-old that she saw from 6 to 18 that she can't see for 2 years. As he said, like, you're always so distant. I thought you were gay and that you know, didn't want a man at all.
Right, right, right.
But they are clinging to her in a sexual way because Claire is apparently popping.
I have never engaged with a woman the way that Gomez has. I have never had a friend that approached a woman like that, or even known any dude to be so pressing before. I mean, even back in college, there was a time or two where a guy would do something kind of whack or kind of lame here and there, but never to this level. I mean, this guy was simp level 9,000, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm like, really? I mean, this dude was begging. I love you, like I love her, but I love you more. I'm just like, what is I wish we would have did they even talk about this, how they met? Because I know you said that, like, were they real friends, and what was the relationship? Because I'm really eager to know, like, how all this went down, especially in this past year, because it just didn't make any sense. This dude was weak as hell. His name is Desmond Borgs. Have you ever heard of him before?
I have not.
Okay. I haven't either. I don't know what the problem was, but I could not stand his character. I had such a high disdain for him, and all of his antics.
Yeah.
Only redeeming quality about him is when Henry was following Ingrid.
Yeah.
And he kind of stepped in to save the day, like, okay, hey bro, she said, she don't want you to follow her. She go this way, you go that way. That was the only redeeming quality, that he had. But other than that, man, I despised him.
This threw me for a loop because I'm coming from the vantage point of seeing the movie. So I was like, her two best friends do find out that he is a time traveler. So I was expecting that. Gomez does wind up being one of his closest and best friends in the movie. I was expecting that. The stop tips, a lot of stuff did, tie in. But the sexual aspect of Claire just being, and it's so sad to watch because even though she's acting on her own accord, we do know that this is all an extension of what she's been through with Henry, and she's being irrational, being like, it's like, oh, because she tells him, I'm going to be celibate pretty much. I'm going to wait for you for 2 years. And no, go on, live your life. Like, okay, shut up.
Right.
But it's like she just couldn't do it. And she's seeking, validation and attention from clearly whoever's closest to her, even though the female friend, she initiated it with her, and she's like, oh my God, no, I'm not that, but you slept with her anyway. Like, I was like,
right.
Like, clearly Claire just wanted to get her rocks off, and that's okay. But I was like, God damn, Claire, at least keep it out of your own home and out of your own friend circle.
Exactly. And this actress right here, Natasha Lopez, I've never heard of her before. She is quite the looker. She's very, very attractive. If I saw her out in the streets, I will probably holler at her. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just being honest. But for me, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody has their cup of tea. But they were making Claire out to be the irresistible woman that's just so fine and seductive. But it seemed like the friend here should have, took on that role. Like, I don't know. They were just, maybe that's just my flavor. Maybe a Hispanic person or a white person will feel different about these two. But that was interesting to me. What was also interesting is, it's not that. Well, let me say this first. I'm not going to shame any woman out there for enjoying sex. We're all human beings. If you enjoy it, if you like to get it in this amount of time or every day, 3 times a day, that's perfectly fine. But do you think that Claire was just a character that just likes to get it in because she's a normal human being, or it also stemmed from the trauma she went through 2 episodes ago, the episode before, when she was, raped, taken advantage of? Because unfortunately, in my experience, and I think everybody knows this, like, when there is assault, from a woman at a young age, sometimes that can lead to them living a promiscuous lifestyle. Of course, not judging nobody here. Do you think they had to do with it? Because notice, I know I just asked you a question that I cut you off, but notice she felt guilty about sleeping with them. I mean, she was remorseful. She was like, oh my God, what did I do? Instead of just like, oh yeah, that was great. Maybe we can sneaky link next time. I don't know how you feel about all that right there.
I didn't feel like it was anything internally with her. I think she was just considering the friendship and the roommate, like, oh, what have we done? You need to be with her. She's the one. It was more so trying to pour him off on the roommate and like, we did this, but it ain't happening again. I'm not truly interested in you. This was just a mistake. But I do think it's also a combination of everything. Like Claire is just messed up courtesy of Henry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And that assault. It's not all Henry, but he's not helping.
definitely not. When I was thinking after because she slept with Gomez first, and then Charisse, I was thinking, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Okay, she slept with both of them, and
Holly.
you know what I'm saying, a little threesome right here. I just knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was. I was like, oh, and then Henry gonna come in here too. This is quite interesting because prior to that, we already saw Henry and them and Claire have sex outside, and I'm gonna come back to that because I have a specific question I want to ask you. But I just knew it was gonna be some threesome for some action. I was looking forward to it. To be honest, I was slightly disappointed that it didn't go down. Like, I don't know. I mean, did you feel the same way or completely opposite?
I did not. I thought they was just like, as you said, like throwing everything at the wall. I wish it worked because I was like, damn, like, oh my God. Like, who's next, Claire? It was like bodies. I was like, God.
Ingrid,
It's just not me personally, it's different strokes for different folks, but I'm just like, if that's what you want to do, like, don't do it within your circle because it doesn't even seem like, because I think we meet the friends first before we get into that flashback, and they are the best of whatever. They're clearly in this very great relationship, and I was like, damn, how did they move past that? Like, do they know what happened, or whatever it is? But it just seems so messy, and then I had to keep reminding myself, Claire is 19. Like, this is what happened. And just with Henry, you do see that it's about this time traveler's wife, for her to be, especially when we get into Ingrid, he clearly likes a certain type of woman. So yeah, Claire fits the bill. He likes a little crazy.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, this is weird. I also thought, well, no, before I go there, let's go back to the scene where Claire was 18 and they had sex. I've never, I don't get too personal, but I've never had sex outside on a blanket. But is that realistic to you? Is that like let me get a woman's perspective. Is that like, oh my God, I want to make love outside and look at the stars and fall asleep? That just, I don't know. That just kind of seemed a little extra to me. Them, they would sleep out there on the blanket. I'm just like, I don't know. Some stuff are like, oh, okay, that's just silly. It wouldn't go down like that. Or you could be like, no, Brand, that's quite common. That's on the women's bucket list. I'm just kind of curious. I have dated a woman that was like, she had a sex bucket list before, and I didn't really want to hear that. But
I guess I'm boring. I don't have one of those.
Okay.
I think I'll say from personal experience, it is possible. Like, it's not something that can be an all the time occurrence. It is outside. It's not legal.
Gotcha.
I have not had any sex on a blanket and lingered and slept outside, but I have had sex on the hood of a car outside.
I think everybody has. Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, but I did I did for their sake. It was nice for them to share their moment in their favorite place, I guess, and it just happened to be outside.
I got you. I thought it was really irresponsible for well, no, before I go there, another me being nasty over here. When Henry showed up, and it was the 28-year-old version and the 41-year-old version, I was also very surprised that Claire was fiending for the older version in front of the younger version. She, he was naked. She was over there filling them up and da-da-da. And it makes sense because that's the guy that groomed and molded her, But she didn't give a damn. She was just about to, I just, because, a couple of episodes ago, he was having sex with himself. Yeah. I just knew that it was going to be some DP action in that bed. And I I just knew it. I knew it. It ain't cheating. It's the same person.
Gosh.
You know, I'm just saying, if I wouldn't blame any woman though. That was the case. You know, I don't know if you've seen Watchmen, the DC comic movie. There's a character by the name of Mr. Manhattan in there, and he's like super. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw that scene in the movie and Watchmen. Okay. I kind of thought it was gonna be like one of them, you know. But I was kind of surprised that didn't happen either. Oh, okay.
I was not. Like, she is clearly just trying to make it happen. She's made it very clear from the beginning. She's even Ingrid peeped it and she just got there. Like, you are not checking for 28-year-old Henry. You want George Clooney. This is who, you know, you fell in love with. So it's, I don't know. I was not surprised Claire was all, and he's like, oh God, it's so weird because it's almost like when the other versions of him show up, it's like an older brother type situation. And Claire is just like, oh, they're like, Claire, calm the fuck down, Claire. Like, God, Claire, calm down. Like,
she was hot.
It's a whole lot. And at this point, it's very interesting. I think him continuing to show up and her not wanting Henry where he is the most realistic, grounded part of their relationship, because rarely when you get somebody in the, you know, earlier stages, you're not getting the sensitive, mature, you know, all advanced. Like, it takes time to get there. So the fact that she is still trying, you know, we get that mercy at the end. It's like, okay, yeah, this is real life. You don't get to skip 50 steps and just wind up with 41-year-old, you know, just mature Henry. You have to get him where he started. Right now, he's whole ass 28-year-old Henry.
Right. Yep. I got you. I like that. Well said. Well, going back to Gomez and Charisse, not Claire, but Charisse. I was really annoyed by this because they were just, like I said, throwing stuff at the wall just to make it stick, just for drama. There's no way in the world that Claire is going to be in the bedroom with her boyfriend Henry, and Gomez knows that, and he continues to bust in the room like Inspector Gadget. No way in hell would that ever go down in real life. Bro, who are you? What are you doing? They are together. You are not. This is not. It wasn't even his house. That's the only excuse I would give him. But I'm like, bro, I would have cussed his ass out if you don't get your ass out of this room. Are you serious?
Everybody's weird, and I hated it. Because clearly at that point, we're still in the flashback, but in Claire's life, he's in a relationship with the roommate, but it's supposed to be like, oh, you know, I'm just protective over Claire's our friend. He's there, you know, throwing slugs, you little librarian, you know, he's just low-key talking shit and being really like, he's really aggy. Like, you still have these hovering ass feelings for Claire still. Like, I wasn't getting, you know, oh, we're evolved now from that, sleeping together, and I'm just the mature friend trying to protect my roommate from this new guy. He was like blocking, like territorial.
Oh,
it was
man.
Really weird. It was really weird.
Real crazy. I mean, and he called and left a voicemail. It was like, hey, please ignore the last two voicemails. I was emotional. But then the second voicemail, when I was trying to apologize about it, I got emotional again. You're making it worse. You're making it worse. So I'm like, man, get it together. And then so that was wild. But then I got on top of that, man, Charisse let Ingrid in the house. She said something like, yeah, I don't know who this is, but she said so I just let her in. I'm like, what? This is a circus. This don't make no sense. They could have. They're just like, okay, we're just gonna let her in because we just want drama. You know, the shit got to hit the fan. That will not go down. People are not just going to open the door and let strangers in the house. You know,
X got to see her.
Yeah, X is at that. So I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm laughing. This is silly. I'm just like, this is wild, you know. But I was like, this is silly. You know, I'm entertained, but this is silly. This is silly. But how did you feel about Ingrid though, and her whole dynamic?
That's a wild one. I was like, really? Henry has a type. Like, I mean, you have to be a certain kind of woman to accept time traveler. And of course, she knows the current Henry. Right. And I thought it was cool that they had in common that, you know, the issue of waiting, like, I think we saw flashbacks of her just saying, you know, do I have to wait? Is this waiting? Like, it's been a weight on her. And I love that. She said, well, I've known him since, she's like, I've known him since I was 6. She's like, okay, gross. Like, yeah, somebody please acknowledge.
Right.
It's fucking gross.
Right.
Ingrid was very eccentric. I was like, wow, she's very interesting. It's weird to just kind of see because they seem so proportionate as far as a couple. So for him to just it kind of feels like he just dropped her in a sense, and it's like, well, this lady's telling me that she's from the future, the past and the future, and she's my wife, and I should just kind of make this work. But not that he doesn't like Claire, but it just kind of seemed like she was dropped in. That was just it. She just kind of intruded, like she had been around forever, and we had already met her, but we don't know anything about her. It just seems it's messy.
Very, very messy. Very.
It's truly messy. But I didn't mind Ingrid. She brought a lot of energy to the show out of nowhere. I just want to know how long she's going to be around. And I was very interested once we got into her just feeling like you're looking at me as if I died. And translation to when we saw the blood appear in that apartment, I think the first episode, I'm like, I wonder if that's Ingrid's.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind because she hurts herself. She harms herself. I can't remember. I don't know if you was able to make out what she carved in her wrist, if that was a specific word or if it was just random markings, but
it was a word. I didn't pause it, but I wouldn't be, past it. Like if it was Henry, like if she was just so comfortable with, death, and she's like, do I go? Like, is it pills? Please tell me it's pills. I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah. What is happening?
She was like praising it. Yeah, that was
It from Claire to her. It just seems like he kind of likes a bit of a task because they're both seem troubled in a way.
Right. Hopefully she gets some help. Guys, if you're out there hurting yourself, pick up that 1-800 number, call somebody, put a comment in my videos. We'll reach out and try to help you whatever we can. Now, however, excuse me. I was going to ask you a question, but you answered it. I was going to ask, do you want to see these characters come back in future episodes? So would you be fine if they, fell by the wayside? And you did say that you wouldn't mind seeing Ingrid come back. Would you like to see Charisse and Gomez come back too?
I think they're definitely coming back because they're very present in the movie. I'm still holding on to that movie, but they're very present, which is why I feel like they're going to come back because he was very hell bent on, oh, this is a scenario where we tell the truth. They know what it is. I love it's like Netflix, mask, Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah.
He's giving all the things. And then I think that was maybe a smarter portion of the episode just to get into, well, if you're hovering over, doing these things to make sure everybody in your circle is financially stable, why aren't you, being a crime fighter? Why aren't you doing other things for the greater good?
Right.
And it's just like, he's not a superhero. He can't take care of himself. Just because he's a time traveler doesn't mean he is in trouble, which he is, from his childhood, all the trauma there, the accident, just being a time traveler in general. I think he needs someone who's equally yoked with him, and that's why he has somebody like a Claire or a Ingrid.
Gotcha. So and you seem to like Ingrid. I didn't really care for her. I didn't hate her, but I'll just say this: you want her to, you wouldn't mind seeing her come back. If she didn't come back, I would not lose a second of sleep. She just, I mean, I'm not just. I mean, Claire's cool. I'm just annoyed by her, horniness.
Horny. I was say Claire was just horny this entire episode.
Yeah,
and I like that Ingrid brought, the realistic standpoint. Like, you're in love with this illusion of this 41-year-old, whatever, just that. But to be because she's been in a relationship with this person clearly for a minute, and it's like, you're different. You're idolizing him. He isn't what you think he is. This is what it is to be with someone like this. The waiting, the this, the that, and you need to, come to grips with that. And I think Claire kind of realized, like, oh shit, this is not pretty much what I anticipated. This is what my life is going to look like. And it's you see that Ingrid is really troubled.
yeah. And even going back to Claire, she is really being manipulated because not only is she being groomed by a grown-ass man, he's a time traveler. So anybody's going to be fascinated by that and want to see what's going on. It's not like he can do just cartwheels. The man teleports through time. So that's just crazy right there. So what did a very, very interesting conversation. You opened my eyes to a few things. But what I mean, do you have any questions for me? Anything that I didn't bring up that stood out to you that's significant in this episode you want to talk about?
like, you're doing good. You covering everything.
Okay. I just want to make sure and not leave anything out. You know, sometimes our viewers can be like, "Oh, you didn't talk about this. You didn't talk about that." You know, I just want to
No, I
make
think
sure
that's
we
we already covered Ingrid, you know, covered Claire being outside. The whole him speaking on the dangerous, oh, he did speak on when they got into, I don't know if you were getting to that, the death situation.
right.
He keeps saying that he's never saw himself older than 41, I think, at that point, and we do. So I'm really interested to see what happens to where he felt while we didn't see him. Like, I really want to know what's going on, because it's different in the film, and he doesn't see himself beyond a certain point, but he just continues to come back, you know, under 45 and you know whatnot. But we see him as an aged old man, and just to see I guess him mature with how he was handling the death and the questions that he got from Ingrid within this episode. Like, it's only so much he wants to share. I'm not going to share when you're going to die, like, so I can have you wait. Which was like, I was like, well, damn, what's the difference with, you know, too much with that and with Claire? Like, why would you do this to Claire and tell her, you know, that I'm your wife from the age of 6, but you don't want to, like, you want to play God in certain areas of your life. It was
Well,
a lot.
that was an emotional accident, though.
Mm.
They could have played it out better. When I'm her effing husband, you know, he didn't mean to. I don't know. I mean, you know, they're not taking. I'm also trying to look at, because I watch a lot of time travel stuff, but I'm also trying to look at this in the lens of somebody that's not into time travel, and this may be the first or only second time travel TV show movie they've ever seen. You know, so I mean, I'm trying to keep my mind open and not compare it to this. Well, in this show they did it this way, in this movie they did it this way. But I don't know. It just seems like he's being really irresponsible with time, and they just need to explain more why he cannot change the future. Because even going back to what we was talking about last time, when it was like 9 versions of him at the funeral and the accident, one of them could have ran over and pulled a mama out the car. You know, I feel like if I'm missing something, you guys let me know in the comments.
We're not getting that.
Yeah.
We're not getting that. We get what he says every episode. Like, whatever, I can't change anything. Whatever happens is going to always happen, no matter what, you know, I do. But he can do things like, hey, and then make sure you get some stocks in Netflix that's going to, you know, boom in the future. But whatever it was is, you know, always going to be. So it's just like he can't do those things. It's not very understandable here in the show, but I'm just going to take that for what it is.
Gotcha. And that's a good segue to my next question I have for you, possibly my last one. Since you've seen the movie and I have not, and we're now 4 episodes in, I think one of the last times you said you enjoy the movie more. Are you still in that mindset to where you like the movie more than the show, or do you still need to see the whole season before you can make that determination?
No, it's not even about liking it more at this point. At this point, there's separate entities. Like, you can't really compare the two. For the movie, I think the movie is damn near PG. Like,
gotcha.
You can't really just compare the two. It's completely different scenarios, different Henry. Some of the same, you know, basic. Because I knew the friends would come in, but like them throwing in her sleeping, I was like, well, this is like 10 times. It's going to be more intriguing. I'm more into the show, but of course we have episodes upon episodes to get invested into the show and to the characters. But I'm enjoying it so far.
Nice. Okay. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to wrap it up for our recap review for episode 4 of The Time Traveler's Wife on HBO Max. Each episode comes out every Sunday at 8 p.m. CST, and we will have a recap for you as well during that time. Sorry, this recap was a little late. I got sidetracked this weekend. It's my fault. It is not Tara, so don't blame her. Blame me. But we're going to try our best to make sure that we're on time for that episode 5. Please let us know what you think about the episode and also our commentary in the chat and also the comment section, because we would love to hear it. We would really love to hear it. But before we go, Tara, why don't you let the good people know out there in the YouTube space what you have going on your channel and why they will want to subscribe?
Let's see. We do throwbacks on my channels, you know, special requests, any movie of any age, any genre. You pay for it. I discuss them, give a really good breakdown. Tomorrow, actually, I will be discussing Dr. Sleep. That should be like really, really fun. And hopefully me and B are going to get into that P-Valley this week, and I'll be
Oh
discussing
yeah.
that also. And I should be dropping High Tension soon.
Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. It was another movie that I just thought about, or I thought about it the other day, and I was like, okay, she says she didn't. Well, I don't want to spoil nothing. I forgot. I'll DM you or something. I can't remember, or text you. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, I can't. I need to know how she feels about this. But guys, no matter what movie it is, if you have $35,
Yes.
$35, send it to Tyra via Cash App, and she will review any movie that you. Is it that did I get that right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
she will
Put the
review any
title
movie for
there
you.
and year.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
and she got you. She got you. It's going down. It's going down. And yeah, man, we would definitely be linking up for that P Valley episode 2. Yeah, she posted a video for that as well. So y'all go
Yes,
check
I
it out.
did.
It's
Very
quite
fun.
lovely. I watched it almost twice. I watched it all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, I played it again, and I almost made it to the end a second time. So it's very, very entertaining. She puts a lot of work in her edits and gifs and pictures and music, and she has the "Hi, you guys." I love it all. I love it all. I love it all. I love it all. And she's on my channel tab, so you guys go check her out. Also on my channel right here, I got a few little snippets from my weekly movie news roundup show every Sunday. Black Adam new photos, people attacking Moses Ingram from Obi-Wan Kenobi. We'll be standing with her. The idiot moron Disney employee that ruined the marriage proposal. Got my P-Valley episode, Young Justice, all that good stuff right there. Check it out. Subscribe to her, subscribe to me, help me reach 40K, help Tyra reach 10K, and all that good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, that's Tyra, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.